promise I'll stand by you all the way. Here is my shoulder. If you need a friend, I'll be your anchor on whom you can depend. With Monalisa.
What was it like being a star? By saying something that we're going to read you something now from the Holy Book. Did it ever cross your mind that you'll become an evangelist?
Straight up, no.
Without a doubt, she is a Nollywood icon, a motion picture queen of perpetual hype and respect. This amazing screen goddess was undoubtedly one of the very first authentic stars of Nollywood. With the movie Glamour Girls by Neck Video Links, her fame hit a stunning pedestal. But this woman of poise was also a matinee idol, starring in the then sensational soap opera Fortunes. She became a screen diva, creating unbridled ecstasy in many a home in Nigeria. But this delectable lady soon moved from the glittering world of television and movies to the conservative arena of the gospel. Ordained a reverend in 2012, she is now winning new fans, preaching the word with her husband. You can rightly say she's seen and done it all. Our guest is Reverend Mrs. Liz Benson, but you know her as Liz Benson.
That woman is not your wife. She is only determined to ruin your life. Satan has no power in this house. This is the handbook of your wife.
Where did you discover all this?
In her room, of course.
How can you be sure, Mama?
There is nothing hidden under the sun. It only takes time for the truth to be unveiled. Her friend, a born-again Christian, revealed everything to me. She said, as one who introduced her to this evil, if anything happened to you, God will not forgive her.
Welcome back. It's still you and I, and we're still gisting with our delectable queen, Liz Benson. How is married life, and how is that?
Married life is sweet, and it's sweet, and it's sweet. Well, okay. I say my husband, he's very dark. My Prince Charming is very dark, He's dark. He's my ebony, dark, ebony, black, ebony.
Prince Charming, ebony.
Dark, romantic and loving husband of mine. And I say, if I had to go shopping, if I had to go shopping for a husband, I would miss it completely. So God helped me to get him. And from time to time, we just share banters, and I'll knock him with a joke. I'm like, you are just one Oyibo in black skin, please just leave me. And he was smiling. And this is a typical Urobo man. Urobo men don't take Nonsense. They don't take nonsense.
So, but then how is preaching the gospel with him? What's it like? I mean, pastoring so much people in church and all of that.
We are in Delta State in a place called Jesse Town, and for some people they only know Jesse Town for an incident, fire incident that happened, long time ago. I think in the early 90s, yes. And so that's where we are, and it's on the same axis with Sapele. For those who know Sapele, on your way into Warri. So we are there, and I co-pastor the church. He's been in ministry for long now, and so I have had my ministry too as an evangelist, even though I'm now a reverend. I've been ordained a reverend. I was ordained 2000. I was ordained a reverend 2012 to make me calm down a little bit, because what happens is that there's a great difference from being an evangelist and pastoring people, right? When you have a flock, when you pastor people, you need to really lead and have a Christ-like heart in you.
Not just the attitude, but...
Yes, so that you can take people, accommodate people, bear with people, and nurture people, and if possible, groom them to see that very love of Christ through your dealings with them, and then they can also accept that salvation. But the difference with the evangelist is, you change, turn, be born again today, otherwise hell is for you. Like John the Baptist said, who warned you, you blood of vipers, to run, to flee from the wrath to come? Such words, if you tell people such things, they will flee from the church, actually. But the Bible makes us to understand that Jesus was slain on the cross of Calvary, yes, to come and take away the sins of the world and to reconcile us back to our Father. And so if Ephesians 1:17 says that you might have wisdom and revelation in the word of God, that the eyes of your enlightening might be open, then when your eyes are enlightening, wisdom, revelation will come for you to gather as many people and nurture them and love them into knowing the right way to go. So that's the difference between being just an evangelist and being a reverend pastor.
People said you broke their hearts when you took a break, a very long break from Nollywood. You broke my heart. You broke my mother's heart so badly, and she's looking for you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure they've approached you to say, what is happening? Yeah. What do you say to them? Do you just go straight to preach to them?
Well, by virtue of where we are right now, to all you out there and the ones in the studio that I broke your heart, I'm so sorry. That heart will heal just by seeing me on this program,
that's right,
on this Lisa's program.
That's right.
But bear it in mind that what I stand to do now is not just what will end here. We're trying to do something. God is using me to do something that will draw men back to himself, so that we will not only be prosperous here on this earth, but we will make heaven and we will sit with God in the new heaven. I think that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing.
Going back a little bit, when you see yourself and you want some of your old films, because they still show it on African Magic, how do you react?
When I stumble on any of them, because most times I just sit down and really watch.
Oh my God.
I just, because at that time, things happened things always happen for a time and for a season, and even the Bible says it, that there's a time and season for everything. Yes, those when I see them, I see the messages in them. I see the messages in them, and however we were able to put those messages across, the messages went across, they cut across, and that's why I tell people, I said, well, God still knows what he's doing, because if I could be a part of that and it sent a message and that message stuck in their hearts and they had that message caused them to have a rethink and to straighten certain things out in their lives, how much more will I not be able to also bring them closer to our Father who is in heaven, the giver of life, our sustainer, our helper, the one who says we should be and we are, the one who makes and who kills, the one who stretches forth his hands and no man can stretch.
In addition to this, when you see some of our movies, take the right message.
That's right.
Leave the other ones alone. It's
That's
none of your
right.
business. We're all actors mirroring the ills of the society, because somebody has got to play the devil. Some people will see me at the airport and say, it is you that went to go and kiss that man. What is that? Am I kissing the person here? It's in the movie. Do you understand? They look at the negative side of it and begin to judge you. You know, so take the right messages from every movie you watch. When we come back, more to come. See you shortly. You were empty when you were doing all this, parties and stuff, but you knew that there was something else you needed to do, and that came calling.
Yes, for me, I've always been a church child, Finding my way to church was not a problem at all. If I didn't do it, then I wouldn't have peace. And so when I got born again in 1996, at the church where we had a pastor, Apostle Anselm Madubuko. It was at his church that I got born again.
Oh, wow.
On that day, it was just a normal service, and I was so glamorously, gaily dressed, from my hat to the suit I had on, and even to my trousers. But to God be the glory, I no longer wear those trousers again. And the altar call came, and I looked around, the way God had kept me, this person that was told it was over with you, I was told. It's not like someone came to tell me. I went to seek counsel from an older person, and he said, you know what, you're finished in life, there's nothing else you can do. It's over with you. Just go get a job to do and see how you're going to raise these 3 kids yourself. And so I went back to my room, and I sat on the floor in my room that was in my mother's house then. And I started crying, and I was asking God, I was telling God, I said, have you heard what I've been told? I said, but what are you saying? But what are you saying? And my room in my mother's house, my mother was living in Aguda then, just by Detola, along that highway. And we were on the last floor. I think it was a 2 or 3 story building, and my mother was living in one side of the house. It was a big house. And I had my own room, well furnished. So I had a sitting area just like this, and my bed was on one side, and everything I had, she was trying to just make me comfortable after all that I'd gone through, losing the father to my kids. So at that time, when after I was told what I was told, I went back home, and the chair became too comfortable, too soft for me. So I needed to sit on the floor. And I sat on the floor and I started talking to God. And I was asking him, I was telling him things, I was asking, hear what I've been told. What do I do? I didn't go to ask for money. I actually went to ask for counsel to know, what do you do, a young girl, and you lost the father to your kids. Do you go straight up and remarry? Or what do you do? Or do you send the kids back home to
your mom?
No, not to my mom was already, she
Yeah,
had taken
it was
us all over,
Okay. Okay.
wonderful, tough, strong woman, disciplinarian, iron lady. So I was thinking, do I send them back, home? Wanted me to bring the kids along, and my mom said, no, you know what, whatever, if they have anything they want to give to these kids, they can send it across, but the children are going to, if you're going to stay anywhere at all, these kids will be with you. These are your direct responsibilities, and you have to live up to it. You have to stake up for it and make sure that they have the best they can have in life. So that has always been in me. And so when this happened and the Lord said to me, I have not even started with you. And of course, weeks and months after that, a lot of things began to happen. God began to direct me. God began to show me what to do. He began to move me in the right direction. And so today I can sit and tell people that one thing I did then was unforgiveness. And I know that every time one talks about unforgiveness, people are like, oh, you know what? Whoa, I can't let go. I can't let go. What he did, I can never forgive. In spite of everything negative that was said to me then, I never held it against this person. I still loved her. Because we respected her so much, I still loved her and still gave her that respect and all that. But as time went on, of course, because I didn't pay attention to it, the enemy could not limit me. It couldn't limit me. It could not stagnate me. So I moved on. After that, of course, the time for me to get into the industry came.
Yes,
and the Lord also told me, move now. And I did. And the end result is what we see today.
My name is Cynthia, and my question is, as a movie star, how did your family take the transition from the famous queen movie star to an evangelist? How was it like? How was their reaction? Did they just take it like that? I mean, it's a very big change. Like, the gap is wide, so I don't know. I'd like to know what their reaction was.
Yeah, well, God works in mysterious ways. His wonders to perform. It was not a big deal at all, because God is in what is going on in my life, and so everything just worked right well. There was nothing. I actually thought I was going to have a hell of time explaining, but there was nothing, because again, one thing that I would like the viewers to know, and also in the audience to know, is that I'm a fourth generation of preachers in my family.
So that says it all then. It was an easy peasy.
So I have an elder sister who has been in ministry for over 30 years now.
Fantastic.
My name is Ayakunle Kolade. I'm a student in Lagos. My question is, what is the definition of success? You've been in the secular world and you're not in the ministry. How would you define success? Thank you.
Success in life is fulfillment in what you have chosen to do. Fulfillment in what you have chosen to do. Because when you are successful in areas where you are not getting fulfillment, yet you have physical things and material things to show for them, and you don't have contentment, there's no joy flowing inside of you, then that cannot be success. Success is an all-round thing. Success is something that comes to you and it creates joy. It gives you peace. You are happy. because you are in that place. You're happy because you are in that place of success, and so it radiates joy. It exudes everything that is good in your mien. You know what I'm saying? That's just, for me, that's my definition of it. It's not just about, having the physical and the material things. They are important as well, but there must be fulfillment, which brings joy and peace in life.
Great. Next question. There you go.
Okay, Ma. My name is Maximilian. Being a veteran in Nollywood and an evangelist, now do you see yourself merging these two sides of yourself, like you producing Christian movies rather in the future?
Thank you very much. Surely, if the films I took part in, and one or two that I did co-produce a film it was in Yoruba though, with a lawyer friend of mine, Mr. Tunjibami Shigbe. If I was able to do something like that and it had effects on people and, messages, the messages changed people's life, I believe that much more now, if the scripts, the storylines are rooted in my faith, I think it will go a long way to do great evangelism for the kingdom of God. So definitely it's a one sure thing that I must do.
I am inspired. Next question, and I hope this is the last because of time. Over where? Oh, fine boy.
I'm David, a huge fan of yours.
Thank you.
We can't know you better than you. So, as a big fan, you're an icon, right? So, we want to know, were you able to achieve the goals you set when you entered the stage? Well, you must have planned something out. So, were you able to achieve it? We might see you as a huge success, but within you, did you achieve enough to call yourself a success?
Yes, I will say I achieved enough. And my reasons for saying that is that, just like I defined success, when you've had fulfillment in life, it comes in different ways and in different forms. Me being in the movie industry, I believe at the peak of my career, I had touched almost all the areas I needed to touch. Maybe not being able to bring about the visions I had, because we all have visions, always have something we want to put out. I may not have been able to do all that, but thank God for who God is, because those visions are still in boxes. And at the right time, at the set time, He who has called me will give me the grace, the ability, and the capability to unfold that package. And that will be it.
We'll be right back right after this break. Don't move. Every once in a while, stars emerge that touch the lives of people. They make them cry and become something of an idol in their hearts. Every day, the world looks out for such treasures. Liz Benson, today Liz Amaye, belongs to this pantheon of stars. She has found a new life and is trying to touch her fans in a new way, taking the gospel to them and bringing them to God. Thank you, Liz, for honoring our invitation. And to the audience, thank you for being such a sport. Same time next week. See you.
Give me your hand.
Still rolling.
By you all the way. Here is my shoulder. If you need a friend, I'll be your
Take picture, it's important, I beg.
It's important. You can't be doing let's go. We'll take photo. Take photo. We have come to the end of this episode. But we have come to the end of this episode. We will continue same time next